Hello students from Jordan. I am at Petra today and I'm going to show you one of the new wonders of the world. This is Al Khazna, or the treasury at Petra, Jordan. And there it is, and it is so much bigger than I could have imagined from a textbook. So this is built by the Nabateans. They were a Bedouin group that ended up leaving their Bedouin ways and settling in this area and several other areas in this part of the world, the Middle East. And they chose a really strategic spot because of the trade between the West and the East, and they became very wealthy. They traded frankincense, myrrh, and various spices. And so with their wealth, they ended up building these, or carving into this beautiful rose red rock part of the world, this city of Petra. This is not the only building that was carved. There are others, but it is the most famous. And because they did trade with so many different areas from their time, they used the influence of the architecture from those areas to inspire their buildings in Petra. You can see the definite Roman influence here. This would not have been appreciated by the Greeks for the sole reason that the bottom columns are not spaced perfectly. You can see that some of the columns are closer together than the others, although they do have the Greek influence. That's what the Romans did. They took what the Greeks had and made it their own, and so this in essence is the Roman example here in Petra. And then looking up at the top, we see traces of a Greek pediment, like the temple tops that you've seen in your textbook in the Greek chapter. However, it's interrupted, it's broken. The broken pediment makes that Greek inspiration very Roman. And then in the middle of the broken pediment, we have a tholos style area, reminiscent of the Greek tholos temples. So Greek and essentially Roman, because it is messing up all the Greek rules, influence here. The Nabateans also have Assyrian influence, Egyptian, in the other structures throughout Petra. Beautiful, beautiful work. I'm super excited to see this. Take note of the Corinthian column capitals, which the Romans did love. Now, the Nabateans established this Petra as a city in the 1st century BC, around that time. However, it was absorbed by the Roman Empire and became a Roman city in essence, and eventually fell due to a natural disaster of an earthquake in the 4th century. And after that, it just kind of was abandoned and then rediscovered in the 1800s, and has ever since been a place that people love to visit. There you can get a camel ride in front of the treasury if you want to, which I'm probably going to do in just a few minutes here. So this is the treasury. So as far as how this was created, you can see the niches that are to the right and the left of the columns, and then the whole thing is just set back into the rock face. They believe that possibly the Nabateans carved this from the top to the bottom instead of from the bottom to the top. And that makes a lot of sense, because you can imagine some Nabateans coming down the front of the rock face in some kind of hanging scaffolding, and then beginning their carving program, and then the rock chips, the excess, would just fall off and pile up, and eventually pile up so much that down here towards the bottom it could create some ramps and places for them to stand on and put their tools. So I think that's a very believable way for them to have made this. Notice all of the Roman Greek influence in this structure. Absolutely astounding in its preservation and beauty.